Hey, welcome back, Curt.
Well, it's good to be back.
Fantastic. Let's take some calls. We've got loads of people who want to talk to you. Dennis in Kansas, welcome to the show. What's your question for the coach? Dennis?
I'm a huge fan of the Kansas City Wizards. I live in Wichita. It's about 3 hours away. But I'm not that big of a fan of Claudio Lopez. I'm not really convinced that, as far as on the field, that he's all he was cracked up to be. I've seen him just miss plenty of opportunities that I think any other player on the field would have put away. What are your thoughts on his progress as far as coming back up and making a difference this season compared to the lack of difference that he made last season? And when is Adam Christmas supposed to be up and running?
Yeah. First of all, we're happy that you're such a big fan. We need more of you guys. In regards, first I'll answer the Adam Christmas question, then I'll get to Claudio Lopez. Adam is out for another 9 weeks with a broken foot. So if everything goes well, hopefully he'll be a guy that we can start utilizing right as we're getting into Superliga. But he's going to miss 12 games of ours, which is obviously unfortunate because he was a big part of our offensive plans and certainly a player that we think is going to do really well in this league. Just in terms of Claudio, Claudio last season came to us, really only had 2 weeks of a preseason and then jumped into, MLS. And what happens a lot, and if you look at even a guy like Scalotto, it takes time for players to really adapt to any league, and our league in particular. And Claudio is a guy that, for me, can offer an awful lot. If you watch our game this past weekend, he did have 3 clear chances. He didn't score, but the important thing is he's getting those chances, and if he continues to get those on a regular basis, he's going to score a lot of goals for us this year. So that's the plan. We in terms of his worth, I think he's worth an awful lot, and whether it's in the capacity of starting for us or coming off the bench, it's going to be dictated by his performance and making sure that we keep him fresh.
Thanks for the call, Dennis. Make sure you stay on the line. We'll send you this great book, Finn McCool's The Football Club. Let's go to Eric in California. What is your question?
I'm a pretty good fan of MLS. My favorite team is Chivas USA. I know this is not a call for anybody involved with Chivas USA, but I was wondering if who do you think would be your biggest rival now that Sounders is up, and Holland doing their part on the west side? I mean, are you guys are they your next biggest rival, or what do you think?
Well, first of all, Seattle I think has brought an outstanding dimension to our league. I mean, the opening game that they had and the fan support, I think, is great for MLS and the future of the sport. Just like any team in our league, they're a team that we want to beat, and there'll be a rivalry. Obviously, we're right smack in the middle of the country in Kansas City, so we can kind of create rivalries with really anybody. So we play them not this weekend, but the following weekend, and maybe that's the start of something.
Curt, what's it like being out of Arrowhead now?
It's okay. It's a good temporary solution. What we have, we're a Community America ballpark, which is actually a baseball stadium that's converted to soccer for us. We control the surface. The surface is excellent. It's a little tight, but that's proven to be a real advantage for us. And we have this amazing stadium that's being built at Bannister Mall in Kansas City, and basically right now it's being taken down as we speak, and that it is due to be ready for the 2011 season. So it's a nice temporary solution before we get into an amazing place in 2 years.
Fantastic. Charles in Ohio, welcome to the show. What's your question?
My question is, why doesn't the Crew get more respect? They are the MLS champions, but nobody talks about them. There's no Crew gear in your background. Everybody talks about Toronto. We played Toronto this weekend.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
The only thing I'd like to say about that is, I have to say I watched the game this weekend, and I do agree with him to some degree. I really feel that the Columbus Crew has developed an unbelievable fan base, and just watching that game this past weekend, it was a real atmosphere and a real soccer atmosphere. And if you looked at the Crew maybe 3 years ago, I don't think they necessarily had that. So those are real positive signs. And in this business, Kansas City, the Columbus Crew, teams that are kind of in the middle of the country, they don't often get the respect that sometimes they deserve, whereas the teams like L.A. and some of the bigger markets get a little bit more of the attention. So I feel a little bit bad for you. You guys have a very, very good team, and you're going to have another good season. So that's all I have to say on that.
Curt, do you think it's fair to compare, the likes of Kansas City to the Seattle Sounders and Toronto FC that seem to have these built-in downtown ballparks that are just so fan-friendly?
I think right now it's I think once we get into our venue at Bannister Mall, and we have one of the best stadiums in America, then there'll be no problem to have the comparison. I think right now it's a little bit different.
Let's go to Justin in North Carolina. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Curt Onalfo, Justin Terranova.
Justin, how are you?
Good, how are you, sir? For those of you out there who don't know, we grew up in the same town, Ridgefield, Connecticut, hotbed for soccer, but wanted to call in and ask, I'm a college soccer coach. Do you feel that,
by the way, before you say your question, why don't you tell me about the times they took shots on you?
Well, do you feel that college soccer is providing the what it's created for in the other sports is to draft players into those sports? Do you feel like college soccer is doing that for the MLS?
The age-old question. Is college is the
right
college
now
game helping?
And definitely stay on the line. You'll be getting one of these great books.
Right now it is what it is. And we each year we're drafting players out of college, and they're doing well in our league. For some people, the adjustment's a little bit quicker than the others. It just depends on the program they come from. It depends on the mentality of the player. But for right now, it's what we have to work with, and I think it's functioning. At some point, I think that will end up shifting and changing.
I certainly hope so. I don't suppose you have any contact with the bigwigs at the NCAA, do you?
I do not.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they're in Overland Park, aren't they? Which is near you.
Actually, I'm in Overland Park right now.
There you go. Headquarters of the NCAA.
Curt, we got to take a break, but thanks so much for calling in, and hopefully we can talk to you sometime soon.
Anytime, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Curt.
Thanks so much.